Ready? How
Yeah.
are you guys?
We're so good. Thank you so much for being here.
You guys
Thank you
must
for
be,
being
yeah,
here.
you
Oh,
must be on a
man.
high from going from Cannes to Toronto, and your film is being recognized in so many different ways to the point you have Martin Scorsese involved with this project. It must be an overwhelming feeling.
Yeah, it's surreal.
I mean, clearly we're still in shock.
Yeah. That might have more to do with the flight than
Aww.
Can you guys talk to us about what it's been like taking in all this love? The reception for the film has been incredible.
So I always feel very blessed and very grateful that हमारी फिल्म को इतना ज़्यादा प्यार मिल रहा है और मैं इस फिल्म का ऐसा पार्ट बन पाया. So not only सिर्फ हम लोगों के लिए है कि हमने ये फिल्म अच्छी बनाई, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हर एक लोगों को ये फिल्म कनेक्ट करी और ऐसे फिल्म का पार्ट बनना और इस फिल्म को रिप्रेजेंट करने के साथ साथ हम लोग पूरे इंडिया को भी रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं और ये एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा प्राउड की बात है मेरे लिए. सो आई फील वेरी ग्रेटफुल एंड सो थैंकफुल. और मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता कि जब मैं अपनी पर्सनली बात बताऊंगा, मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता कि शायद मैं बहुत ज़्यादा मैं ही ऐसा हार्ड वर्क करता हूँ इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ पे पहुँच पाए. बहुत सारे लोग हैं बट गॉड हैज चूजन अस कि हम ये पार्ट प्ले करेंगे. मतलब नॉट सुधा, शोएब और चंदन का पार्ट, बट हम ये एक्ट में रहेंगे जहाँ पे हम अपनी फिल्म के साथ दुनिया में हमारी इंडियन सिनेमा को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे और ऐसे एक मुद्दे को लेके आएंगे. तो आई फील वेरी वेरी ब्लेस्ड एंड very thankful.
You know, this film is going to cause a conversation. We were just talking about the caste system, and I was trying to explain it to him what that is. And I still don't fully understand or appreciate it. But there's a moment in the film, and you go to the cop, and he says, pigs will always be pigs. And it hit me so hard for a second, and I had to step back from it for a second. And like, this is 2025. This happened during COVID. Explain to me what you want people to learn from this film.
since
I think हमारा सिर्फ एक ही मुद्दा है कि मैं चाहता हूँ कि जितने भी लोग फिल्म देखें वो उन सारे किरदारों के साथ और उन हर एक ग्रुप या हर एक रिलीजन या हर एक कास्ट या जैसे भी लोग हैं जिनके साथ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हुआ है उन सब लोगों के साथ एम्पैथाइज कर सके, उनके शूज में जाके एक बार दुनिया देख सके कि वहां से दुनिया कैसी लगती है. और इसमें कोई भी तरीके की विचारगी ना हो कि ओ माय गॉड इनके साथ ऐसा क्यों हो गया. जबकि मैं चाहता हूँ कि हम सभी लोग कहीं ना कहीं ऐसी गलतियां कर बैठते हैं. हम लोगों को सिर्फ विचारा करके वहां से निकल जाना चाहते हैं और ना कि उनको समझना चाहते हैं. आई रियली वांट के चेंज आने से पहले एटलीस्ट उसका फर्स्ट स्टेप ही ये है कि आप उनके नज़र से दुनिया एक बार देखकर तो देखिए, तो आपको बदलने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, आप लोग ऑटोमेटिकली बदल जाएंगे.
I think he very rightly said that it's not about producing sympathy, in effect othering those people and separating them from yourself, but rather forming a deeper understanding of certain characters that, dare I say, are underrepresented, not only in our cinema, but I would say cinema across the world. I think what was really the endeavor with this film, like Neeraj very rightly said, is not to put the politics before the film and the story. No matter how deeply you feel about something, if you are doing that, it is still a form of you're a propagandist before you're a storyteller.
Right.
And the idea was really to take these characters that are often lost in a number, statistic,
Yes.
and really put a microscopic gaze on these characters and walk a few miles in their shoes and hopefully help you understand what it means to really live in their shoes and their circumstances. It's often a lapse in understanding that creates that kind of divide.
Yeah.
And I just think it's very rare to have a film that almost propagates a gaze of empathy in a time as divisive as ours.
Well, to your point about them being real people, you know, the brotherhood between you two guys in this film, the bond, feels so real. Like it feels like people that I've known, that I've loved, that have been brothers, right? It feels like us. So when it came to actually getting into those characters and finding that bond, how was it that you discovered that between the two of you?
What you just said is a small victory for us, I think, and not just a small, I would say big victory, because that was very important to us.
Yeah.
Is not just to, like I said, it's not to look at these characters, but really try and understand them. And I think the first thing is to humanize them and realize that you're not that different, you know. And I think that speaks to the universality of this film. I think it was very important to us not to just look at them as tormented characters, but to look at them as characters that carry a spirit and a hope that
Yeah.
that we can all resonate
I think
with.
that's it. This film is about hope,
That's
right?
what it's
They're
about
looking
at
for
the end
their
of the day.
journey, and we're going through the turmoils with them. And I can't say what happens at the end. And that's what breaks you, because you see the heart in your characters, all of you. And you guys did such a wonderful job with that. There are moments where they do, there's breakdowns there. But do you think, you said the word understand, do you think people will understand what they're actually going through? Like, do you pull from your own experiences to understand what your characters were going through?
I think as an actor, though, I think it is both. Somewhere we know that we are performing, but at the same time, when you have director like Neeraj Ghaywan sir, so he wants you to know the character from inside also. It is not just craft. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको सिर्फ act करना है. Even though you know that you are performing, but आपको उस किरदार को जीना है. और ये सारी चीजें आई थिंक एक अच्छा एक्टर भी कोई तभी बन पाता है जब उसके लाइफ में अच्छे और खराब दोनों तरीके के एक्सपीरियंस हुए हो. एंड वी कनेक्ट अगर शोएब चंदन किसी एक मुश्किलात से गुजर रहे हैं, तो हम जब वो परफॉर्म करते हैं, समवेयर बैक ऑफ द माइंड हमें पता है कि हम कौन से इमोशन से ये सारी चीजें बाहर लेके आ रहे हैं. तो डेफिनेटली हमारे खुद के लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस भी इसमें बहुत ही ज्यादा help करते हैं.
How about you, Janhvi? What was your experience coming into this film?
I mean, I feel like although, like you said, there are a lot of political and social themes in the film, but really there's like Ishaan said, there's a universality in everything that we've tried to say. And I think aspects that, people from all over the world and every walk of life can relate to. I think we've all experienced that feeling of sort of not being completely confident in our identity, not knowing who we are, feeling like we've sort of been shortchanged. We've all, at some point or the other, felt a certain degree of social isolation, whether it's because of our gender, because of our choices sometimes, because of our monetary standing. I think, I find it a very peculiar aspect of human nature that we're so inclined to finding reasons to create divide within us when there's actually more that we have in common that would unite us than anything else. But somehow our antennas are always up in ways in which we're different. And I think that divide is just, it's becoming more and more apparent and being weaponized more and more in today's day and age. So, I mean, while I've gone on this rant, I've sort of forgotten.
I love it. Just looking at you right now, in 2012, I sat down with your mom. I just realized that, English. I'm looking at you and oh my God, I'm getting emotional. You look just like her. And I'm like, it's just coming to me now that a while ago, I met your mom. Sorry, go ahead.
To that point, the people that are closest to you in your life, what were the first things they said to you after the first screening that they saw of this film?
My family was a mess. As was I think. I think the entire auditorium at the festival in Cannes, I think we could hear people sobbing, hysterically, having extremely visceral reactions to the film. And my father as well. I think that there have been films where, of course, I've had bigger roles in terms of screen time and things like that. But I think my family sort of realized that this story meant a lot to me, and I think we all did it for extremely personal reasons. That's what they recognized, and that's what they were moved by. Apart from, of course, how powerful the story is.
The title's called Homebound, but the idea all of you guys wanted to do better for your family. You wanted to build a house and, help your dad. And there's this element of family. So I guess my question to you is, what is family to you?
I was going to say my country is my family. In so many ways, my country is my family. And I just hope more people recognize it that way. And my people who are from my country, my people that share my blood, my heritage, my culture, they are my family. There's a sense of home that I feel when I even see you all the way here in Toronto. I mean, it's lovely.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I think that bond is so strong. That sense of what
Belonging.
our land, belonging,
yeah.
what our land stands for, and all of the goodness in it, all of the love that we share, and that is my family, that sense of belonging, that sense of home and safety, and sense of looking at someone and feeling like, okay, yeah, this person knows who I am and what I am and understands me.
Family is your home, and home is like your family. And it's no, yeah, it's as simple as that. And I actually do think that there's a deep resonance in that. It's a good question because I think that is an overarching theme of our film. Even to be more specific of my character, Shoaib's character in the film, I think belonging is something that is very important to these characters. And I think in that sense, it is a very patriotic film. It is a film about how we would say Desh Prem or loving your
love
land.
that. Yeah.
And I think that's why it feels so urgent and it feels so like the stakes are so high because it's literally asking who are we becoming as a people.
Well said. Yeah.
You know, and there is a universality to that. Of course, it's not just specific to a country. I think we are living in times that are becoming increasingly divisive.
Yeah.
One is finding excuses to create division between people. But I think when this happens in our lives, for example, it's a personal thing to us. But when the screening at Cannes happened,
Yeah.
there's 800 people, 900 people in a room, in a dark room, all feeling for these characters,
all connecting
to these characters that perhaps they would, not know the first thing about. But that itself is testament to the fact that this is a deeply humanistic film first, and then about anything else.
So we're getting the wrap. I just want to ask you, what's your favorite Bollywood song? Because I'm teaching Carlos to listen to Indian music.
Me.
And we drive in the car and I'm like, what should we listen to?
That's the song she's just
Which one?
It's called Bijulia. You need to go on YouTube.
Okay, how does it go?
Right now, me in that song is not at all what you've seen in Homebound at all.
Yeah.
But it's a fun
And this
song.
is not a blatant promotion of her.
It's pure love. It's all love.
It's your new movie that's coming out?
Her heart and soul is behind this statement. It's her favorite
love
song
it.
of all time.
It's a great song.
I love it.
And yours?
Can't
What's
wait.
your favorite song?
I don't know why this comes to mind, if I may borrow. No, my favorite song. Yeah, my voice.
It came out of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why this comes to mind. It's probably not my favorite song of all time, but there's a song that deeply, deeply moved me in the movie Guide with, by Vijay Anand sir. And the song is called "Wahan Kaun Hai Tera Musafir." And I think it's a very existential song, but it's a very simple and beautiful song at the same time.
I can't wait.
I'll share it with you after this.
Please, yeah.
In fact, actually, we had an extensive playlist on Homebound that allowed us to get closer.
Okay.
So you use that music to get into those characters.
That was one of the songs.
I love that.
ठोस मजबूत भरोसा अपने सपनों पे करना जितने मुंह उतनी बातें गौर कितनों पे करना आज लोगों की बारी जो कह लेने दे तेरा भी दिन आएगा उस दिन हिसाब चुका के रहना
So sick.
I was waiting for Diwali Dulhan Hania. I was going to show him that song, but anything Shah Rukh Khan, right?
I love it, guys.
Congratulations to all of you, and I'm so happy you made this film.
Such a
because
phenomenal
This is
piece
from
of
a movie
work.
called Dangal. Just
Dangal.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone is.
I got a playlist to get into
We
now.
got
yeah.
this. We got this. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you so much, guys.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
One time I flew down to New York
Right.
to have an interview with Idris Elba.
Wow.
Sat down with him, had this beautiful suit on.
Yeah.
20 minutes left, got to the airport, looked down, realized my flight was down the entire time. The entire interview. Congratulations on this film and on the reception that you've been getting for this film. Can you talk to me about what it's been like getting the reactions of the audiences watching this?
Carlos Cannes screening was, overwhelming is also an understatement if you say so, because just to have a whole theater full of people having a visceral reaction to the film, that was indeed special because I never expected it to be received so well. There was this 9-minute standing ovation. But for me, most important was that how people made it personal. Like this, there are a couple of people who actually broke down so bad they had to sit down, and those kind of reactions happened. They had to be ushered out, and those things happened. This one person told me that it reminded him of back home, of the liberation of our island with UK. So everybody's experiencing their own things and their own personal moments. So that to me is a real win,
It really is indicative of like the art of the storytelling, that even for me, someone who doesn't have the experience that these characters have experienced, I can still recognize what's happening. We still recognize the separation. We still recognize the the violence of the discrimination.
Right.
What do you hope changes in people when they watch it?
I'm only hoping for empathy. The way the world's going right now, we need a lot of empathy. When I say that, what I mean to say is that for people who don't look like you, people who differ with your opinions, people who may not agree with you, and I think we should right now take a step back and probably sit next to each other and have a talk of empathy, because we are instantly judging, othering, and canceling people just because they don't have the same opinion as you. And that's why the whole world over, there's so much of hatred going on. I think that is what my film is also trying to say, that eventually, no matter where you come from, it's the humanity that matters the most. Without that, we are incomplete human beings, and if we don't share that human values, we're going to be doomed as a society.
And this story has so many elements that are from your life.
Right.
It's such a personal story for
Yeah.
you. Can you talk about the emotion, maybe even the fear of being exposed in such a way, and people knowing, this is a lot of this comes from me deep inside?
Yeah. So I grew up, my childhood and my teenage years, I've grown up in a patriarchal Dalit household. So for the large part of my life, about like 35 years, I've hidden my identity as Dalit. I masqueraded as an upper caste person. And the shame that you carry is insurmountable. And the way it changes you as a person, I have huge imposter syndrome. And it is no thanks to that, how your identity shapes you. And I thought that with this film, I wanted to sort of also like exercise those demons and put myself out there, put my shame also out there. And it has been like even call out the patriarchy that was in my household, that's in the film. So it was in a way, personally, quite a cathartic experience to write. I mean, the film, while writing, it was quite like, I was wondering if I should write or not, should I put this episode or not. But there were also fun elements in the film that I've actually replicated from my childhood. I actually did like jump into my neighbor's house just because I couldn't wait for biryani, and I stole biryani,
Yeah.
and the mother caught me and she
Yeah.
said like, yeah, it was way more embarrassing than it is in the film.
Well, also the thing that I loved too was just the dynamic between your two leads, that brotherhood that they share.
Yes.
And I couldn't help but think how real it felt and how it wouldn't have worked the same way with anybody else.
Right.
How did you know that this chemistry between these two would be perfect?
Honestly speaking, that chemistry was also orchestrated. And when I say that orchestrated, I mean to say that I did a lot of homework, because before the actors came in, I spent a lot of time trying to understand various kinds of friendship, and I didn't want that whole friendship over, oh, I'm so much for you. That also, friends are also assholes also sometimes.
Yeah, right.
They can be very mean to each other. They can be like, they're like, oh, go do your thing, I don't care, that kind of. So even that vibe also had to be there. That's a lived in friendship, So when these actors came on board, and I had very little time, right? Like, obviously nobody has great amount of time. I wanted them to be friends for real. They both come from very different backgrounds. So I said, you guys have to spend time together. I made them play cricket together. And I said, I want genuine friendship. And genuine friendship happens because you don't have time. The best way to forge a relationship of friendship is to maybe become vulnerable. So both of them confided of their own personal traumas and things that they went through. And that brought them closer. Then they started looking out for each other. And I took those boys, we toured around the villages of India. We sat into like homes, we every small village, we talked to the people, understand. I said that, lived reality you cannot replicate. You just have to internalize as much as you can. Because for me, honestly speaking, like great performance is not enough for me, because I'm sound haughty, but like what I mean to say is that, any good actor will like nail the scene, right? Like they'll be performing well. But for me, it is that how much do you get to the truth of the character? That is more important to me. Like you will get it, like you will ace the scene, but that's not good enough for me. Like I need for you to believe in that character, to portray that truth that represents so many Indians with authenticity and with genuine empathy that has to come from within, and to replicate that lived reality was more important.
Well, they succeeded. the film succeeds in my eyes in so many ways. Congratulations on it again.
Thank you.
Since we are here at TIFF and it is all about movies, do you have maybe 3 movies that you've seen in your life that you think everybody needs to see?
One film that really shaped my career and also like deeply inspired me was 8.5. I don't know why Fellini really impresses me a lot. My formative years have been of cinema, like have been those. I'm heavily inspired by the Darden brothers. So I would say Rosetta is one film that I give it to most of my actors and, for prep. I mean, I'm not saying in Indian films specifically because I think your audiences want to know what are the films.
When I discovered
Yeah.
international cinema,
Yeah.
it opened up my
Yeah.
eyes and my mind to different storytelling and of course performances that I would have never gotten anywhere else.
Yes.
So if even if there is a formative Indian movie for you that you think people need to see.
Well, people talk a lot about Satyajit Ray, which is, his films are popular and huge inspiration for me. And what I draw from Satyajit Ray's films is also about like how the narrative is always at the core and the politics is always layered underneath. It never supersedes it. But a Indian film, there is Gitanjali, a Telugu film. There is Ijazat by Gulzar. These are films that are not talked about much, but they are very good. Performance-wise, to my male actors, I give them Tony Servillo's films because and Matt Mikkelsen because they are institutions in performance. Females, it's always Juliette Binoche or Isabelle Huppert.
Yes.
Yeah. So she is an institution. I mean, Piano Teacher shook me, like it broke me.
Yeah.
And in fact, Michel Haneke is also one of my favorite filmmakers. I've seen all his films and
You've had 2 big festival films. When you approach the work, does that cross your mind that someone is going to watch this and that might go on their list of films that shook them, formed them?
like I said before, I do have imposter syndrome, so it's very difficult for me to believe that. And even if they say it, I feel like they're just being polite.
You think they're just being polite?
I mean, I'm in the process of trying to accept, like I said, hiding my identity and stuff. And so it's very difficult to have self-love. So it feels a little unbelievable. So I'm in baby steps.
Baby stuff. Well, I hope you soak in all the love during TIFF for this.
try.
Congratulations again. Thank you so much for your time.
It was such fun to talk to you.
You too, man.
Really, it was good fun.
Thanks.